Hello, my name is Mrs. Heiss. I am a junior high math teacher, and today we're going to be going over adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing by decimals. Now, decimals can be a little tricky for people because, well, now we have these dots thrown in, and now we have to line numbers up a certain way. But if you just stop, take a breath, you realize it's not too scary. I'm going to write down the numbers. 1.2 and 5.3. So these are my numbers here. The big thing about addition, let's start with the basics, addition, is that the decimal points have to line up, always. So if I have a number, let me try this instead. If I have 1.2 and 0.56, my decimals are here and here. I cannot write it as I can't do that. I can't write it as 0.56, but I have the decimals lined up here because now the numbers in the tens place don't line up with the numbers in the tens place. And the whole numbers don't line up with the whole numbers. And it just gets tricky. So what you need to do is make sure that you're lining up numbers with the decimal point. So I have 1.2, 0.56. Put my decimal here. Oh, I can actually move that. Put a 0 here. Now, we have a problem here. There's nothing here. That's okay though. That just means there's a 0. There's just one big 0 behind it. And there's actually an infinite amount of zeros behind that too. But we're just going to do this for now. 0 plus 6, 2 plus 5, 7, 1 plus 0, 1.76. That's all let's do it. Line up the decimal points and just treat it like a normal math problem. Same thing with subtraction. So let's do this. 1.2 minus 0.56. Oh, let's fix that 5. Okay? So I have 1.2 minus 0.56. Now, I have my 0 here. I have to borrow, which means I'm going to cross this out, turn this to a 1, and make this a 10. What is 10 minus 6? 4. 5 is greater than 1, so I'm going to have to cross up that 1, make it a 0, make this 11. 11 minus 5 is 6. So 0.64. Same thing, I just line up the decimals with the decimals. That is all you have to do for the addition and subtraction. Those two rules are the same. Line up the dots and you're perfectly fine. Now, what about multiplication? This one's a little bit trickier, but not, okay, I'm biased, I'm a math teacher. You just have to remember to count. So let's say I have the numbers like we had before. 1.2 and 0.56, or 56 hundredths. There we go, that should be the correct term, the mathematically correct term. So, I'm going to multiply, and I'm just going to treat this at first like a normal multiplication problem. I have 6 times 2 is 12, carry the 1, 6 times 1 is 6, plus 1 is 7, and then 5, I put my extra 0, 5 times 2 is 10, the 1, 5 times 1 is 5, plus 1 is 6. Add it all together. Now, what I notice here, how many digits are behind the decimal point? There's 1. So I'm just going to write that down. How many are behind this decimal point? My decimal point's here. 1, 2, 2. Which I'm going to add these together. 3. Why did I do that? That tells me how many digits go behind my decimal point. So I have 1, 2, 3 decimal points. My answer is 672 hundredths. No, thousands. 672 thousandths. And that's our answer. You just have to count the decimals. Now, I know I did the traditional form of multiplication. Maybe you prefer doing the lattice multiplication, you can still do it like that, but you still have to count, okay? How many numbers are behind the decimal point? How many numbers are behind the decimal point? Now, division. I'm going to do this here. So let's go see how many times 3 can go into 1.2, okay? So I'm changing my one number. It's not 0.56 anymore, it's this. There's no decimal number here, but I know there's going to be a decimal answer. All I'm going to do is move it up. Just take it straight to the top. Boop. How many times can 3 go into 1? Well, it can't, so I'm just going to put a 0. Now, how many times can 3 go into 12? Don't think of it as 1.2, but 12. Well, 3 can go into 12 4 times. 4 times 3 is 12. We have a smiley face. My answer is 0.4. Now, what about the situation where we do have a decimal point in both our divisor and our dividend? So let me try this. Let's do same number, but give that a decimal. I'm going to turn this into a whole number by moving the decimal one spot back. Same thing here on both sides. And same as before, I'm just going to raise that decimal up straight to the top. So I moved it back one because I moved it one spot here, and I'm going to move it one spot here as well. If it had been like 12 hundredths, I would move it back 2 spaces here. Ah, no, bad. So it's the same thing here. So now my answer, my question is turned into 3, 12. Here's my decimal. How many times can 3 go into 1? 0 times. How many times can 3 go into 12? 4. What's 3 times 4? 12. 12 minus 12 is 0, and we have a happy camper. So I hope this was a good overview. It was a quick run through in 7 minutes on the 4 operations with decimals. Division has 2, so one of them both of them you take the decimal straight to the top, and the other you just check here. Multiplication, count how many numbers are behind the decimal. And addition, subtraction, line up the decimals. I hope you have a wonderful day today. Okay, bye!